Hello again. It is Wing Nation presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. We are talking sprint car racing, and it is our favorite time of the week. And we are so glad that you have joined us in the Hercules Tires studios here in Concord, North Carolina. Erin Evernham's in the house. How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Fantastic.
That's good.
Into the fall months, into getting close to the.
Not yet.
I know.
Got a day
I
yet.
know. We got another day yet. Exactly. The Pennsylvania Month of Money is coming up. You can always tell. We'll talk a little bit about this on our Hefner Racing Products Hot Topics, but our first champion has been crowned. Mm-hmm. Knoxville always has the honors of that, and so whether we like it or not, it's rolling along.
I know. And the Outlaws are going to California for the first
Isn't
time
that great?
in 2 years.
Yeah, we've got Skagit.
Well, they're not quite there
right,
yet.
Exactly.
So
yeah. Yeah, they've
ourselves.
got the Sage Fruit Skagit Nationals, then Grays Harbor, then the Gold Cup, and then they're at Peter Murphy's place, Hanford and Placerville. Placerville is right now it's a fire camp right now. So yes, fingers crossed that everyone in California gets to race against the World of Outlaws. Fun stuff. I hope it works out. They're in World of Outlaws were in South Dakota when we last saw them on Sunday night, so they're headed across Montana and Idaho and Washington and over the hill. Northwest, yeah. So it's going to be an exciting time. It really, truly is. It's a fun time and lots and lots of neat stuff. Let's get to our Hefner Racing Products Hot Topics. We've talked a lot about this, and it did not disappoint. It was the fastest 4 days in motorsports, NARC King of the West. Thursday night, it was Justin Sanders getting the win. Justin was driving for a guy named Kevin Kozlowski, but Paul Silva was wrenching the car, and it was a white number 57.
I did see that. I saw the pictures.
Yeah, so he picked up the win Thursday. Friday at Ocean, it was Mitchell Facento. Saturday at Stockton, it was Dominic Scelzi. And back Sunday at Petaluma, Justin Sanders. So they got 2 wins out of it. But Dominic Scelzi was consistent, second, third, first, and third. He was the champion of the fastest 4 days. We're going to talk to Dominic.
Well, we know that'll be entertaining.
We know it'll be entertaining. I wonder if he found his hauler, because the last picture we saw,
the dog took off.
Yeah, the last picture we saw, Frank was sitting behind the wheel of the hauler driving off. So we'll have to find out if he found the hauler. And they did the camping thing. Him and his new wife and baby did the camping thing,
I'm sure we'll get some stories from that.
Fun stuff. Kudos. I watched a little bit of this. I think I watched the heat races almost every night. And then I watched one of the A-mains, and boy, King of the West is just rolling along well. That's really some good racing out there. They're doing good. They're doing good. World of Outlaw, Noss Energy Drink Sprint Cars, I-80 Speedway in Nebraska, Donnie Schatz, third of the season, number 302 career, first at I-80. And we had Donnie on our MAV TV show last week, or our television show last week, Rev and Mav. And you started to sense a little bit of the Donnie of old. I think he realized they were close to it. That run in Knoxville.
Yeah.
That run in Knoxville was a shot across the bow of everybody, and all he's done is he's won 2 since. The boy's rolling.
Yeah.
He's got that car rolling well. He finished second. Black Hills, South Dakota on Sunday night. Sheldon won his 8th win of the year, but Donnie finished second. Donnie Schatz is starting to pick up the pace again.
And it's just good to see. I know he's nominated for years, and people, get tired of that. But when someone doesn't perform that well, it's kind of nice to.
World of Outlaws are better when Donnie Schatz is on his A game.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you're going to see excellence, or you're going to see somebody beat excellence.
Yeah.
Which is excellence as well. I mean, it's not to knock on. Brad has been the main. Brad is excellence too.
Yep.
I mean, so it's neat stuff. And when I say excellence, I mean night in and night out.
Yeah.
There are a lot of great racers over there, but boy, night in and night out. That was where Donnie just absolutely clubbed everyone into submission. We talked about his 20-some wins, but then when you start looking at top 5s and top 10s, it was like, how do you even, because on his bad night, he gained 6 points on you.
Yeah, yeah. And you look at it was every type of racetrack. He's not just good at,
Which Brad has gotten really good at that, too. But exciting time for the World of Outlaws. And as you mentioned, Skagit, Grays Harbor, then down into California. Mm-hmm. So it's a fun part of the year. I just hope that at some point I'm able to stay up and see some of it. Actually, Skagit might be after Darlington. I might be able to watch that riding home because I'm not even driving. So coming home from Darlington on Sunday night. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know. You don't get the greatest cell connection.
Well, that's true. McBee, South Carolina probably doesn't have the best. Yeah, you're right about that.
Catch bits and pieces.
Flow Racing All-Star Circuit of Champions was in Pennsylvania for 4 nights. Tyler Courtney picked up the win at Grandview. Williams Grove was rained out. Corey Eliason at Lincoln. And Danny Dietrich held up the posse banner at Babs Motor Speedway. Other winners, Jack Dover. We're going to talk to Jack. Career first 410 win, which it shocks me. And then when I think about it, it doesn't shock me. It shocks me because he is such a great race car driver. Mm-hmm. It doesn't shock me because he has really put all of his energy up until this year, or most of his energy, into 360 race. And so he got the win at Huset's. Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. I love this one. Waukene Speedway in Kansas. Jason Martin, his 3rd career National Tour win. The last one came in May of 2012. What took you so long to get back to victory lane, Jason? Fun stuff. And Knoxville Raceway, we mentioned this. Brian Brown, the race winner again. The 2021 champion is Davey Heskin, 32-year-old racer from Minnesota. He has been racing Knoxville forever.
Yeah, for a long time. And he's good.
He's really good. I think he's a 5-time winner out there. Finished in the top 10 in points for like the last 12 years. Yeah. Including a second years back in points.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's made the Nationals before.
Made the Nationals, and that sort of thing.
He's a good racer.
He didn't win a race this year, but he was very consistent and scored the championship. So Davey Heskin is your first champion of the year.
Exciting for him and a little depressing.
Yeah, exciting for him. I watched some of the video. I don't know who it was, but the family celebrating in victory lane. That was cool. That was really, really cool. That was fun stuff. So there you have it, our Hefner Racing Products Hot Topics. HRP loves karting, from sprint to road racing or winged outlaw karts. HRP Streeter Super Stands are the #1 selling brand for karting.
They have automatic electric lifts, rolling stands, and stackers to carry multiple carts. And just like sprint cars, HRP has tire racks, engine racks, speed breakers, and a whole line of kart racing accessories.
You can find out more at www.hrpracing.com. That's hrpracing.com. Use promo code MRN and free ship. Free ship? Yeah, free ship. I forget. We've got all these deals with everybody.
I know.
No, just use the promo code MRN.
Just see what happens. It's a surprise.
See what happens. It's a surprise. Circle B Diecast is free ship. I don't. I'm
try it and see if it happens.
Just punch in promo code MRN and you will be floored by what happens when you order up the deal you get. Absolutely. Speaking of a deal, a couple weeks ago we talked to Trey Jacobs, and that's Dean's boy, and how he is doing. Well, I would say if recent history is any indication, he's doing well. This was Friday night at Attica Raceway Park. Cole Messina, who is also doing very, very well, is leading. Trey Jacobs closing on the last lap. Here's our good friend Brian Lisky with the call on Dirt Vision.
And now for the Dryden death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
White flag in the air, and here comes Trey Jacobs. Jacobs races to the inside of Cole Messina in the 1 and 2. He can see him down the backstretch. 2 more left-hand turns. Here comes Trey Jacobs to the inside of Messina. Trey Jacobs out of turn 4 takes the win.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Death, the official death of the World of Outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Over the years, Dryden has stood for uncompromised value and proven performance. Known as the hardest working brand in heavy-duty lubrication, Dryden's heritage is made in America and made to last. Dryden products work to increase the life and enhance the efficiency of your equipment in the toughest conditions. Learn more about Dryden's products at Dryden.com. From grassroots racing to NASCAR, Dryden is a proud supporter of racing everywhere.
Over 200 events from coast to coast, and they're celebrating 30 years of scattering soil. The American Sprint Cars Series, the world's largest sprint car sanctioning body, is bringing more thrills with wing and even more non-wing action in 2021. 11 regional tours, the national tour. No matter where you are, we're coming to a track near you. Can't be there? Get double the streaming fun with Racing Boys and FlowRacing.com, bringing all the adrenaline to your favorite streaming device. See the full lineup of events now at ASCSRacing.com.
It was the fastest 4 days in motorsports out in California. And boy, they really had some great racing. As I mentioned, I watched some of it on Flow. And one of the cars that I watched at the front of the field all the time was Dominic Scelzi. He joins us now on the Dryden Hotline. Hello, Dominic. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
How we doing, guys?
We are doing well. How did you survive the fastest 4 days in motorsports?
Very carefully.
Yeah.
My goodness. It was, it was a lot of fun to be able to run 4 different tracks in a row. And, to have the speed that we did every single night was great. And I felt like, that there was a little controversy there on Thursday night, which kept us from winning the race, but backed that up with a 3rd place at Watsonville. We won Stockton. I drove for Scotty McMillan and drove the 20 car in a 360 class on Saturday night as well in Stockton and ran 2nd. And then on Sunday, we ran 3rd in Petaluma. So it was a really good week.
Yeah, very impressive. Dominic, you give Jimmy Carr a ton of credit, which obviously is well-deserved. But on top of that, you have to have, as a racer yourself, the confidence that you have now with a good car and having the momentum that you do. How do you see, your improvement? You had a few years you raced out in the Midwest. You did some outlaw racing a little bit here and there. I mean, it's not just all Jimmy Carr.
I do give Jimmy a lot of credit because I feel like he's, I was talking about this the other day, and the best way I can then explain it is you have a musician that, I feel maybe knows how to play really good music, but they don't have the instrument to be able to play it the way that it sounds in their head. And now I'm able to do that. And I feel like I've had a good understanding of what it takes to win races and how to do it. And it never equated out as successfully as what it is this year. And I say that is because, Jimmy has given me a race car that I'm comfortable in every night. So, one thing that I feel that I've really improved on and I'm very proud of is I've learned not really how to win races, but how to not lose races. So, that for me is, it doesn't pay out until lap 30. So whatever happens those first 10 laps, those first 20 laps, it doesn't matter until that last lap. And if you can put yourself in position all 30 laps long, stay out of trouble, make sure you in some cases, save your tire or save your car or don't show your hand too early. And you're there at the end, which is something that we've been very good at this year. I think that's been the biggest thing for us is we're able to not get, flustered when things aren't going our way early in the main event and somehow be there at the end of just about every race that this year's been in California.
Dominic, how much of it is the confidence in the mental game, knowing when you get in the car every night that you're going to have that perfect car, it's going to be close? That's got to be a bigger part than you might give credit.
Oh, it's huge. I really feel like when we show up to the races, really anywhere this year, in my head, I feel like we're going to have a shot to win this race, and I just have to make sure that I make the right moves, and it comes down to putting ourselves in position to win the races, and 17 times this year we've been able to do that. So for me, I roll into the racetrack not worried of, I got to do this, or I need to qualify good. I feel like we can win from 15th. I feel like we can win from 18th. I feel like we can, do a lot of things that I've never been able to do before. So for me, I don't even get revved up anymore when it comes to, hey, we didn't qualify good, or we didn't, run good in the heat race, or we're outside of the dash. I just know that when it comes time for the main event, our car's going to be good. And maybe if it doesn't start off, 100%, it's going to get there very fast. And I think this week was a perfect example of that. In Watsonville, we ran around, the first 10 laps running around, I think in 6th or 7th, and we were kind of average, and a couple guys fell out and we got an open red. And that's probably the worst thing you can give Jimmy Carr is an open red. And we, he turned some screws on the thing, and we ended up almost winning the race, ended up running 3rd, but got under them guys there the last couple laps and just couldn't pull it off. And then Saturday we were running around in 6th or 7th, and the same thing sort of happened, but we had a yellow and the racetrack kind of went away, and then we went 5th to the lead in like 3 laps after that. So it's just, there's a lot of confidence and I think understanding how to put yourself in position every night has been really big.
Dominic, I look at your week, and you referenced it. There was some significant controversy on Thursday night with the restarts and the scoring and everything like that, and significant frustration from you. And I sat there watching it, and I'm like, what in the world's going on? So, I mean, I can't imagine your frustration. But then to be able to regroup and to come back and to just put your head down and go, and then win on Saturday night, have the good race at Stockton, have a solid race at Petaluma. It was almost like a month of life happened within those 4 days, from pissed off to happy and everything else. What a 4 days that you had out there, and getting over the problems and moving on. How difficult was that?
Oh man, it's extremely difficult because I obsess over everything, and these races are not easy to win, and this year has been incredible for me, so I've been very lucky with that. But I don't take any win lightly, whether it's a local 360 show or an all-star race, whatever it is that we're able to win. I rank them all up together, and every race is hard. There's no gimmies in sprint car races, so when you have one that's kind of taken away like Thursday night. I got told on Saturday, well, why are you still upset over that? Just get over it. You've won 17 races this year. I said, yeah, but that's not the point. It's taken 10 years to get to where we are as a team and where I'm at as a driver. Every race matters. So you never want to have one taken away from you or lose one. And I thought it was huge to be able to come back on Friday and, okay, hey, you know what? That was last night. And now mentally you've got to be in a mindset of let's go do what we need to do. We didn't qualify the best. We barely snuck into the dash. And then, we did what we needed to do every single night. So for me, the podium, 5 races in 4 days, it says so much of where I'm at mentally and where our team's at. I mean, we've got a great group of guys behind us right now. And, people get on runs like this, but yeah, there was a lot that went on in those 4 days. And I kind of laughed at us 4 days. It's not really a speed week, but it was a long 4 days. It was a very long 4 days for us and for all the teams that, we're involved and our goals going in. We wanted to win a race. We wanted to, make the dash every night, and we wanted to extend our point lead. And we were able to do all 3 of those things. So, they were small wins, small goals, and it worked out to the big picture being, the fastest 4-day champion.
Well, and you said this was a long 4 days, and you didn't even talk yet about the motorhome adventures. I got to hear you had your wife and your child on the road and the dogs, right?
Oh, we had so much fun. It was just comical. The whole week was so much fun. We really enjoyed ourselves. I think I'm going to get one again to go to the Louis this week and the Gold Cup the following week. I had such a great time, and we made memories that we're never going to forget. And, it was a lot of fun there. I think for one of the naps we took one of those days, we had 2 dogs in a camper bed with a baby and 2 grown adults. So there was a lot of air fryer cookies and a lot of late night snacks, and we had a wonderful time.
Oh my gosh! But did you get your hauler back? Because the last I seen, what was it? Did Frank take your hauler for a spin, or what was the story there?
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, those dogs, they're so full of energy and full of they're so much fun. Frank, his seat all week was in the front seat. He rode everywhere we went, every your seat. Nikki didn't even get to sit up there. And then whenever I'd leave to go racing, we'd always park the motorhome in the pit. Well, he'd sit in the driver's seat and bark at anybody that got too close to the motorhome, or if there was a dog that was trying to pee on the tires, he'd bark at them. And he stood watch the whole time, and Josie made sure the couch didn't run off. She laid there. And it was so much fun. It's stuff like that I grew up in the motorhome with my dad and my brother and my mom, on the NHRA tour. So to have a little bit of a flashback in a different sense of now I'm the guy driving down the road, and, I've got a baby in the back sleeping, and it was very cool. And it feels like, life is kind of coming full circle, and it's a lot of fun. Can't take moments like that for granted because they come and go so quick. And, it's something that I'll never forget. I think that was really the highlight of the whole thing, was just being with my family and being able to have so much fun on the road.
That's awesome. Now, but last I knew, one of the dogs I thought was up for adoption shortly. Wasn't that last week?
That would be Frank. Yeah, we have one of those diaper things, and we went to dinner for like 30 minutes, and at that sushi restaurant I always talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Well, sure as shit, Frank got into the trash and took the bag of dirty diapers, and he just wanted to inspect it and make sure there was nothing, no paraphernalia in there, and ripped it apart and smeared baby poop all over our kitchen floor and all over our nice rug in our living room. And Yeah, he was up for adoption for about 15 minutes, but unfortunately we didn't get any bites.
And you wouldn't have gone through with it either, but I understand that. That's right.
Oh, no, he's our baby. It's so funny. I sent him outside, and I was so mad for maybe 10 minutes, and then before we even got done cleaning it up, he's just so happy sitting outside just looking in. I'm like, all right, fine, you can come back in. And he's loving on me, and it's like, okay, all right, I forgive you.
It is awesome. It really, truly is. The World of Outlaws are headed your way, fingers crossed, in a couple of weeks. Not only for you, although you're the guy that's right now atop the point standings. How do you feel about yourself and the California drivers as you get ready to go at Silver Dollar and then at Hanford and hopefully at Placerville as well?
Usually this point in the year, I would be able to tell you pretty outright, hey, I think these guys are going to be really good when the Outlaws come to town, or hey, this is somebody to watch. But right now, I really don't know because, we haven't run an Outlaw race all year in our stuff. Yeah. And, I really don't think anyone out here has. So it's going to be interesting to see how that change. And, they run the H tire. We run the HCW out here. That's going to be a little bit different. But, Chico historically has been a good place for us. We've, podiumed. We've run inside the top 5. And, we've had some good runs there with the Outlaws. So I really feel like Justin Sanders and myself and DJ Neto have been probably the 3 best 410 cars all year long. I think Justin is going to be very tough to beat, especially in the 57. And, I got some high hopes for us as well. But one thing that's very different than years previous is I would always have the Gold Cup circled on my calendar. And, I would just, it was like Christmas. You'd count down and be so excited for the Outlaws to come to town and so nervous about it all week, trying and get that first Outlaw win. And anymore, I don't know. I don't know if it's just having the baby and where I'm at in life, but like I truly could not care less who we're racing. If it's an Outlaw race, the local 360 race, I'm treating them all the same this year. And at the end of the day, I've had an amazing season. So whatever happens in those 2 weeks of the Outlaws being out here, it's either going to be, add to the amazing season, or it's going to be, hey, you know what, had an off 2 weeks and then get right back to what we've been doing. So I'm at such a good place mentally that in reality, I'm just excited to be able to, kind of see where we stack up and maybe we're going to have some extra homework we're going to need to do after they leave and maybe we're not. So at the end of the day, we're just going to take it one race at a time. And, at the end of the day, it's a sprint car race and someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. And that's all it's going to be.
Yeah. Boy, I'll tell you what, it is. I'm jacked up about it. I just really am. Like I said, I watched a bunch of those races this weekend and really been following along. And I'm just gonna. It's gonna be interesting. It's a great yardstick. We're gonna find out where you guys are, and I think that's a wonderful thing. I really do. Dominic, we appreciate the time. Congratulations on the success, and fairly confident we'll talk to you before we get done with the year. But thanks again for joining us.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. We got a couple big ones here coming up, and September with the Gold Cup, the Trophy Cup. We've got several big ones left. So hopefully we can put our name on a few of these and have something really good to talk about come November.
There we go. Sounds good. Thanks, Dom.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
All right. Dominic Scelzi. How about that? Could you imagine riding around doing the 4 days like him and Nikki and they did? I mean, could you imagine?
Not with someone like Dominic.
They should have just had
silliness
they
and
should have
craziness.
just had a camera in there, one of those mounted
Seriously.
on it. Yeah. I mean, just phenomenal stuff. And your question about, the confidence, there's no denying, just talking to him. He has always been vibrant and full of life, but he is a confident, winning on a regular basis sprint car driver, vibrant and full of life.
He's loving every aspect of life.
Yeah, he really is. Good stuff. Great to hear from Dominic Scelzi, a 17-time winner this year between 360s and 410s. Man, that's pretty awesome. Speaking of awesome, Jack Dover with his career first win. How about that? We're going to first 410 win. Yeah. This guy's got a ton of wins. First 410 win. We'll talk to him. Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTires.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTires.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Hey, Ashley, what are you up to?
Oh, I just stopped by to grab some sage fruit apples. Now I just have to decide which ones.
You can never go wrong with a Honeycrisp. They're They're light, crisp, and full of perfectly balanced flavor.
Oh, hey!
You could always go with one of their classics, the Gala or Fuji. They're both sweet and juicy.
Grown in the heart of Eastern Washington, Sage Fruit Company works hard on the farm and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears to consumers all year long.
Well, I couldn't decide which ones. Thanks for the help, guys.
I'll race you to checkout.
Just like racing components, Aggressive Hydraulics purpose-builds hydraulic cylinders to perform for customer-specific applications. They design and manufacture mobile-style, single-stage cylinders as well as multi-stage telescopic cylinders. It's a no one-size-fits-all approach with Aggressive Hydraulics. Hydraulic solutions for virtually every industry that uses hydraulic cylinders. They proudly design and manufacture all cylinders in the United States. Check out the video of their story at aggressivehydraulics.com.
I love when we have new winners, and this guy is not a new winner. My gosh, he's won more races than most sprint car drivers have competed in. But getting the first 410 win on Sunday night at Huset's, joining us on the Dryden Hotline, is Jack Dover. Hello, Jack. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Thanks for having me back. I appreciate it.
Well, what's it feel like to be a 410 winner?
Feels great. I mean, I've been in a big sprint car since 2006. So, 15, 16 years later, we finally got it done.
That's awesome. And you just got it done at a small little place called Huset Speedway with Dob Meyer and Justin Henderson down your throat. Talk about the race. You led every lap, but it had to be a little bit nerve-wracking at times.
It's very nerve-wracking when you got guys like them behind you. The track was pretty good, actually. I mean, it was dry early on in the night. Probably could have rubbered down really bad, but Todd and the team up there, they kept working it all night and trying to make it so it didn't rubber down. And early on, it was right around the top, and just had to, kind of pedal it so you didn't spin your tires all the way around. And then probably 10 laps to go, maybe 8, it started to rubber up. And once it rubbered up, we just got in line and pretty much just rode around there.
Well, I'll tell you what, rode around to victory lane, that's for sure. Jack, it was when I saw the story and I watched the interview and everything like that, I was on two sides of the fence. I was shocked that it was your first 410 win because you're such a talented, successful race car driver. But then I wasn't shocked because you focus so much on 360s. How much did you alter your plan a little bit this year? Had you been? I think you've been running more 410 races this season.
Yeah, last year we ran all 360 stuff, and actually I drove for Rick and Chris, which are the guys that own the 81 car. They owned a 360 last year, so I drove for them last year in 360 stuff, and they've always wanted to do the 410 deal, so they said, well, you just keep your 360 stuff, and you run it when you want, and we want to run a 410. So they went out and bought one, and this winter, we just decided we were going to do 25 shows, and I told them figure out what nights they want to run, and I'll just make it work with my schedule. And we're 21 shows in so far.
Wow, that's awesome. And you got them their first win. That's very cool.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
It's pretty cool. I mean, they've been doing it probably longer than I have, probably 20, 25 years, and like I said in my interview at Huset, it's cool that I got my first win, but it's cool to get them their first 410 win also.
That's awesome. And you mentioned on social media that you had a lot of responses, whether it was text messages or direct messages. What has it been like? You've been around the sport for so long, had, like Steve said, so much success in 360s, but to hear from everyone after you get your first 410 win.
It's a great feeling. I mean, it just reminds you, I don't know really how to put it, but it just reminds you that there's actually people out there watching you and thinking of you and actually, kind of care for you. After the win Sunday night on the way home, I probably had, 60 text messages. I almost kind of felt like a NASCAR driver. I'm sure those NASCAR guys, they get a bunch of texts the next day, and that's what it felt like. It was just very humbling.
That is fantastic. That really is. Is there, and if there is, and if you could share, fine. If not, I understand. Is there one or two that kind of jumped out, or people that kind of surprised you, or was it mainly just some many characters from the past?
Nobody really jumped out. I mean, obviously my parents.
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody really jumped out. It was just crazy how many people, that I thought didn't really watch or, really follow me that said good job. And it was just very, very, very cool. I mean, I made a post on Facebook and I think it had like 500 likes. So that's probably one of the most liked posts I've ever had.
That's awesome. That is fantastic. That really, truly is. So what? I think I saw on your schedule you're running 360s this weekend at Jackson. That's been a pretty good spot for you between Jackson and Huset, I would say. That Midwest looks like it's pretty solid, whether you're doing the 360 or the 410 deal.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday we're up at Jackson for the Jackson Nationals, which we've won before in the past, and then Sunday and Monday we're at Huset for the 10,000 to win Huset Nationals or whatever they're calling it. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I think last year I ran second to Shane Golovic at Huset. So we're looking to get one spot better there. And then obviously we've won at Jackson. So we got a good shot at winning them. So I'm very excited. I think it'd be pretty cool to win all four.
Yeah, that would be great. We had Dominic Scelzi on the show earlier, and we talked to him a lot about confidence. You've had a lot of success, like we've talked about, but winning a 410 race and having a season like you're having, how much does that help your confidence? I mean, you said you've been around the sport for 15 or 16 years. You've seen the highs and lows. How nice is it to have a win like that at Huset's and just have a confidence on your side?
It helps a lot. I mean, anytime you win a race, the next race is a lot easier. Like you said, you got confident. Just the whole mindset going into the next race after that win is so much easier, and I don't know how to explain it. I mean, just a lot of confidence.
That is something you got to have good speed in race cars. You've got to have a good setup. But boy, that is something that'll gain a few tenths as well. And it's good to hear. And it was great to see you pick up that win Sunday night at Huset. Jack, always a pleasure to talk with you. I'm glad we got a chance to catch up with you here on Wing Nation, and wish you the best as you roll through Jackson and Huset and on through the balance of the season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again. And I always enjoy being on the show.
There we go. Jack Dover joining us here on the pro. He is so cool. We had him on our live show up at Huset, and just laid back, cool, cool customer. Yeah. Doesn't look like he's been racing for 16 years.
No.
Still looks like
when he said that, I was thinking.
He looks like a kid. But don't let that kid. Boy, I'll tell you what. Don't let that kid fool you. When he gets behind the wheel of the car, he'll mash the gas.
Absolutely.
And evident Sunday night, getting that first 410 win. Love catching up with Jack Dover. Want to experience racing in its purest form? Do you yearn to return to where NASCAR came from? Watch high-banked, full-throttle, super late model racing at the World 100 at Eldora Speedway on Flow Racing September 8th through the 11th. It's the crown jewel of dirt late models. This is grassroots racing at its finest. See who will win a Globe by subscribing today. Go to flowracing.com/world. That's FLOracing.com/world.
Circle B Diecast is the new diecast outlet from Plan B Sales. What started as Lionel and Chase Authentics apparel distributor has grown into the largest distributor of diecast and now includes Auto World Greenlight Collectibles, Brand Art, Sam Bass Artwork, and University of Racing lines. They have a huge inventory. The folks at Circle B Diecast love racing and support drivers like Kyle Larson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Christopher Bell, and many others with sponsorships and partnerships. And on orders over $20, use promo code MRN for free shipping. Check them out, circlebdiecast.com.
Sunoco is a proud partner of Wing Nation. Not all fuels are created equal, so fill up with Sunoco UltraTech. Sunoco Ultratech is a top-tier detergent gasoline that is proven to make your engine run cleaner, longer, and more efficiently. Using the same detergent package as what is blended into some of Sunoco's high-performance race fuels, you can trust Ultratech for your everyday race. Whether you're headed to the track or just hitting the road, fill up with Sunoco Ultratech and fuel your best. The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, turn number 2, one sprint car place in Knoxville, Iowa, on the famed Marion County Fairgrounds. That place may have the longest location description of any place on the planet, but it deserves
Possibly.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We always do the birthday calendar. Later this week, Richard Huffman, Red Lampelius, Roger Rager, Dave Darlin, the People's Champ.
Yeah.
Bobby Grimm, Jackie Holmes, Willie Davis, Brent Kading. BK has one coming up the end of this week. But today would have been the birthday, and this is a name that I had no idea. Gary Sokola, 2012 inductee into the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. Gary was hired. He raced CRA. He was in the Navy, came out, located in California. He raced CRA in the 70s, and then they kind of had a change of people there, and he got more involved with the marketing side of it and the scheduling side of it. And the next thing you know, CRA is this well-established, huge organization. They even came into the Midwestern race. They raced at Devil's Bowl and I forget, maybe Terre Haute and stuff like that. I mean, he took this CRA from a regional California tour to something really special. 1987, USAC found itself with 14 races for the sprint cars. That's all. So they hired Gary, and USAC Sprints went through the roof again, including a little thing called Thursday Night Thunder. So Gary was one of those guys that we don't know the name because he wasn't standing there with checkers or trophies. But when you think about the impact on sprint car racing, it was unreal. So, and everything seemed to go in 10 years. 10 years he was at CRA, 10 years he was at USAC, 10 years when they were ready to build Dodge City Raceway Park, he oversaw that and brought some cars in and teams in, did a great job, passed away in 2000. So one of the great series officials, which is one of the beauties of the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. It's great to have the drivers there. You've got to have these guys and gals who make it all happen. So Gary Sokola would have had a birthday today. And he is forever commemorated at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. And the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, the salute. Now, you better get there. You got 1 month. The salute to champion Greg Hodnett is on display through October 1st.
Yeah, and it features 8 of Greg's actual cars that he drove, plus Greg's testing and engineering equipment, uniforms, helmets, and other memorabilia.
There you go. SprintCarHall.com, www.SprintCarHall.com. Let's see. Coming up later this week on our podcast, we're going to talk to Steve O'Neill. Because they've got a little bit of doings going on.
Some big doings.
Big doings going on up at the Speed Palace. So we're going to talk to him. You can follow along. Oh, by the way, if you're at Attica this weekend, you can get Wing Nation gear on the All-Star Circuit of Champions trailer or www.wingnation. And again, follow us all weekend long. Then coming up this weekend, we're talking Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour Racing. Dylan Westbrook joins us on Wing Nation, our television program, Wednesday night on Rev in Canada, and Saturday morning on MAV here stateside. So love catching up with the driver of Miles Hill's car.
Oh, yeah.
Dylan Westbrook joins us on our TV show. Hey, we appreciate Dominic Scelzi and Jack Dover for joining us. More important, though, than all of that, thank you for joining us here on Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tire.